This guy is a psycho, from aspiring artist to Scrooge McDuck bomber in 1988. James, a 38-year-old German man, was deeply frustrated. He desperately wanted to be a cartoonist, but his lack of success and financial struggles pushed him to a drastic decision. He would turn to crime to finance his artistic career. His plan was audacious. He would build and plant bombs in local department stores, detonate them, and then send a ransom letter threatening further bombings unless a large sum of money was paid. The first heist James set to work, assembling pipe bombs in his kitchen. His initial attempt at a luxury Berlin department store failed when the first bomb didn't go off. Undeterred, he returned to the same store and planted another. This time, the bomb exploded in the middle of the night, causing significant damage. He then sent a letter demanding 500,000 Deutschmarks, about $300,000 today. He instructed the store managers to take a two-way radio and board a local train, from which they were to throw the money out the window at his signal. The managers complied, and James successfully intercepted the cash, making a clean getaway. With his ill-gotten gains, James splurged on lavish vacations to places like the Mediterranean, South Korea, and the Philippines. The return of the Bomberby 1991, James had spent most of the money, and his cartooning career was still going nowhere. He decided to repeat his plan. He rented a cabin and equipped it to manufacture more bombs. In mid-1992, he struck again, planting a bomb in the porcelain section of a Hamburg department store. The bomb exploded overnight, destroying expensive vases and plates. This time, his ransom demand was higher, 1 million German marks. James' second ransom letter included a bizarre demand for the store to publish a coded message in the local newspaper. Uncle Doug Bear greets his nephews. This was a direct reference to the cartoon character Scrooge McDuck, known as Uncle Dougal Bear in Germany, where the DuckTales show is highly popular. James was essentially giving himself to Scrooge McDuck. The store managers placed the ad, agreeing to the ransom demands. James then instructed them to take the money to a specific spot in the forest, where they would find a bag with the DuckTales logo and a picture of Scrooge McDuck stuck to a telephone pole. The police, who were now involved, tried to set a trap. They tied the money bag to a train in a way that would prevent James from dropping it remotely, hoping to lure him out. The trap failed, and an enraged James, not knowing the police were involved, set up a new drop-off location. This time, the police complied fully. They used James's remote-release electromagnet contraption to stick the bag to the train. When the bag dropped, James moved to collect it, but the train abruptly stopped. Police officers, who had been hiding inside, jumped out. James grabbed the bag and fled, managing to escape capture. However, when he opened the bag, he discovered only 4,000 marks were real. The rest was fake. A cult following an eventual capture knowing the bombings were linked. The police dubbed the suspect Dougal Bear or Scrooge McDuck. The local media picked up the story, and surprisingly, James gained a small public fan base that found his antics and use of the cartoon name entertaining. Encouraged by the attention, James continued his bombing and extortion attempts for 6 more years. While he never successfully extorted more money, he remained active. The police eventually realized James sometimes called the department stores from public phone booths. In 1994, during a ransom call, an undercover police officer posing as a manager pretended not to understand the street name James was giving. This forced James to slowly spell it out, giving the police just enough time to trace the call. Although James fled before they arrived, witnesses provided a detailed composite sketch. A few weeks later, James was at a different phone booth, again on a ransom call with the same undercover officer. Police traced this new call and located a man matching the sketch. They began surveillance and eventually caught him making another bomb threat call from a third phone booth. The police swooped in and arrested him. James was convicted and sentenced to 9 years in prison. After his release, he successfully turned his life around and finally achieved his dream. Good for him.